So recently-ish, I ran a poll asking if I should give One Punch Man another try. I watched it back when the show first came out, and I really didn't like it that much. I did like the theme song, though. The poll told me that I should give it another try, so that's what I did. That's what we're doing today. We're doing my review of Season 1 of One Punch Man. There will be spoilers, so be warned of that, and let's get started. Season 1 review. The series starts off with a villain named Vaccine Man, which is kind of ironic considering what the world's been going through the past couple of years. Good job predicting that, One Punch Man. And we get introduced to our bald hero Saitama, who kills Vaccine Man in one punch. That's how the show got named. We also get one of the fastest flashbacks I've seen in anime history. This was seriously like 5 minutes into the show. It's of Saitama 3 years ago. He meets a crab man who lets him go because he's too depressed, which is kind of relatable. Crab is after this kid who I think may have a worse mutation than him, and Saitama kills the crab. Oh, and that was brutal. I like that. He wanted to become a hero after that and ends up getting mega strong and like too much for himself. In fact, now he's back to being sad, which again sucks. Have you ever been too good at something it just makes you sad? So these brothers start to wreak havoc on the town that Saitama lives in, and the big one kills the small one because he followed orders too well. People in this anime seem to do things a little too good. That's what I'm understanding here. And Saitama pops the big one. I think these two brothers, the little bit that we saw of them, were just sad. Enter super strong mole man whom Saitama can't one shot. And I think that this is gonna be cool. Oh, he was taking a nap, and the mole people aren't strong. Great. I need to throw this in here. The animation changes make me feel weird, and it's not in a bad way or like a problem. It's just kind of funny seeing them happen in the middle of important spots. We get introduced to Genos, and I really like his design and concept. I think it's pretty cool. And he's chasing after someone named Mosquito Girl, and judging by that name, I'm sure she's going to be some sort of monstrosity. After going to the bathroom for a minute, I came back to watching the show and see that she's kind of hard to beat. Genos, with all of his fire, just could not beat her and almost had to self-destruct. Thankfully, Saitama came by and just whoop. Genos gives a heartwarming backstory of why he was coming this way, and hey, your master may not appreciate it, but I do. Wait, master? Oh yeah, Genos wants to become Saitama's apprentice, so here we are. After we get that whole heartwarming story, some animals from the House of Evolution come to attack. Great villain name, by the way. Armored Gorilla, not so much. They kill all of his friends, and he's like, whoa, guys, we don't need to resort to violence here. What kind of questions do you have? I'll answer them. We find out that Dr. Genos wants to know Saitama's powers, and that's probably the most reasonable thing I've heard so far from this show. I thought it was hilarious how Dr. Genos was all like, I'm gonna be so tired after I get through all of these floors. And then Genos is just like, boom. And hey, we're here now. The doctor lets Carnage Kabuto out, who rolls Genos, and I'm starting to think like, oh, this guy might be a challenge. But no, he cowers because he can sense Saitama's overwhelming power. Everyone, including me, I'm on this list here, I'm gonna be real with y'all, wants to know how he got so damn strong, and finally he tells us. What? Yeah, so literally no one believes him, but he's scared he's gonna miss out on a supermarket sale, so he just Carnage Kabuto and leaves Genos there to question his whole life. I really like the interaction we've had from the characters so far. The writing story-wise has been alright, but I think that the character chemistry is what carries a lot about all of this. So, you know how he's bald, right? What if we had a whole episode about bald people? Because that's what we got. This dude named Hammerhead formed a baldy organization because he doesn't want to work. I want to agree with him on some parts of this, but he's just going about it the wrong way. He targets a businessman who hired an assassin ninja named Sonic, and this dude is really cool aside from his creepy ass smile. Like, design-wise, he is by far my favorite character, but that smile. He takes care of the BMNWG, otherwise known as the Bald Man Non-Working Group, while Hammerhead flees with a kunai on the back of his head, and I guess that's how he got his name. He runs into Saitama, who's like, hey, I'm not like the rest of you, and destroys Hammerhead's suits, leaving him to run away again, crying and snotting. Sonic runs into Saitama and immediately loses to him when he nut punches him. By accident. Well, they're rival now, so that's cool. Hammerhead gets attacked again, and at this point, he's really starting to think that the jobs might not be that bad. And speaking of jobs, Genos is like, hey, we should put our names in to be in the hero agency. And they both pass the exam. Genos because he's strong and smart, and Saitama because he's strong. The Hero Agency was looking for Genos because of what he did to the House of Evolution, and I mean, Saitama did more than beating Carnage Caboodle there, or whatever his name was, I forgot. They have to go to an orientation from Snakebite Snack, which is a stupid name, and he's mad that Saitama isn't listening to him, but like, why would he, dude? Look at you, look at your name, get your life together. Genos got some super cool new upgrades and thinks he's strong enough to spar well enough against Saitama, which Genos did do a lot of damage in this battle. I'm gonna be clear with that, and it's really well animated. I was super impressed by it, but Genos still didn't win the fight. This makes Genos' boner for Saitama bigger, and he moves in with him. Weird, but you know, hey, I approve. And they meet the #1 A-rank hero, and I don't like him already. He looks just like a douche. Saitama actually tries to take mentoring Genos seriously, which surprised me a little bit, but he has to rush off because he's about to be dropped from the Hero Agency. We then meet one of the stupidest heroes ever. I actually hate the Tank Top Tiger. I like Palm Top Tiger more, I'm gonna be real. Sonic comes back and causes some trouble for Saitama, so he fights him, which sucks though because everyone thinks that Saitama is a villain just because he's been running around the town too fast. His resolve is more than enough to take that though, which is really impressive. He beats Sonic and gets to keep his hero status. A mutated Tangela comes to the town that Saitama lives in, and these two heroes come to beat it, and they're weird, and also pretty terrible. I just didn't like them very much. But Saitama finds the Tangela and's like, ooh, I need you for my soup. And it makes me gag a little bit. Like, this bitch was dragging the hair on the ground, and he just made soup with it. Enter Meteorite. Thing's a world killer. So I haven't really mentioned it, but there's a class system to the hero organization. S is the highest class, which Genos is in, and C is the lowest class, which Saitama is in. They dispatched all the S-rank heroes to deal with this thing. You know who showed up? And this old dude Bang. I like him. I think he's very calm compared to the other characters we have like Saitama and Sonic. He's not as goofy. In contrast to that, we meet someone I really don't like. Metal Knight. No, not him. Him. All he really cares about is power, and he doesn't even care about drive. And that's kind of sad. And honestly, I could see the contrast between him and Genos. Like, if Genos didn't meet Saitama, I think this is where his character would have been heading, because he kind of did have a one-track mind for that. But Metal Knight can't beat the Meteorite and won't team up with Genos, so he leaves. Dick. Okay, this next part kind of gave me goosebumps because the way Saitama took the meteor out, it was insane. And I can't show the whole thing, so I suggest you look it up because it was really cool. Saitama comes up and does what he does best. Oh. Well, at least it isn't fully destroyed, and Bang knows that Saitama did the best thing possible, so I'll consider that a win in his book. But the two tank top dipshits say that Saitama's a liar and a thief of credit, and they both attack him, and he sets them straight while the crowd boos him. And this is like literally the most terrible spot to be in. I couldn't imagine being here. He took it a lot better than I would have. So how do y'all feel about Sea People? Because one's gone already. Moomin Rider is a true dude, though, let me say that. He actually does research about Saitama before he puts a good or bad judgment on him. And I think that more real-life people should probably do that. But back to the other fish people. A bunch more of them are emerging from the sea and causing trouble in another city. Stinger, who I kind of like, he's a cool dude, is fighting them off while Genos is fighting off germs on dishes. Pretty epic if you ask me. Him and Saitama see this on the news though, and they're like, okay, the dishes can wait. While they're heading out, Stinger takes care of the rest of the fishmen. Pretty good, right? Wrong. Look at the king. Hell, the king. There was a prison break where Sonic broke out with Purry Purry Prisoner? I don't think this was a good representation, but that may just be me. Purry Purry got knocked out in a hurry while Sonic is doing a pretty good job fighting the Sea King. But God basically says, fuck you, escapee, and makes it start raining, which apparently powers up the Sea King even more. The more you know. The Sea King makes it to the spot where literally everybody, except all the important people, are, and starts destroying heroes. But we get a badass shot of Saitama being serious at the end of this, and shit is about to go down. Back to the shelter, though, we see that Genos is finally here ready to fight the Sea King. Oh. Damn it, why can't you just run when he asks? Moomin Rider gets here and I start crying. The way that the crowd hyped him up, it was so beautiful. And I love spots like that in anime where it comes out of nowhere. He does not win though, like at all. Saitama comes up and just boops the Sea King too. And hey, I found my least favorite character. Everybody was praising Saitama until this ass clown opened up his mouth. So Saitama had to downplay his victory so people wouldn't lose faith in the other heroes. Which led him to getting death threats in the mail for saying he stole other people's credit. Like seriously dude, fuck you. But there is a really nice scene of Moomin Rider saying he sent Saitama a thank you letter and bought him some dinner. But honestly, I have to like give Saitama a lot of credit here because that's such a shitty spot to be in. Like, he has taken all this on the chin real well. He's like, either like, yeah, it was pretty badass, or else like hundreds of people are out of a job and you're the only one who's going to be doing hero work. What do you do there? We get introduced to the rank 2 hero Tornado as she wipes out a villain just as quickly as Saitama does. And let me tell you, she's kind of a baddie. Although she doesn't have the best attitude, so boo. But we get to go see Bang's gym, which is emptied out by his top student, and he doesn't deserve this. A Heroes Association member comes and tells Bang and Genos that they need to come quickly. They grab Saitama with them and we head up to HQ, where we get introduced to a bunch of new heroes, and I want to talk about one of them. Can you guess who it is? Yeah, that's right. His name's even worse. Super Alloy Darkshine. Did they get any backlash of this? And I thought Puri Puri Prisoner was a bad representation. This is just fucked up. Anyways, the reason that we're in HQ is that a fortune teller said that the Earth is in danger soon. And boy, she couldn't have been any more right. We had a huge group of aliens come down and just start slaughtering. One alien named Melzagard had about half the ace rank heroes busy. That is insane. But no, on our MC, he's already up on the alien ship, killing them left and right. One alien, whose name I'm not going to be able to pronounce at all, starts complaining to the alien leader Boros about how they don't have any great fighters left, except for good old Mezzy on the ground. Speaking of Mezzy, dude's going ham down there. But he does want Crazy Name to end this quick and throw some lasers on the ground. But he was distracted, so Negan destroys one of his heads and finds a little marble, which is the key to the regeneration process. So he breaks it, and Mezzy's head start to go away. Crazy Name asks Saitama to leave the ship, so Saitama asks him which way is out, and apparently that beautiful bald head does have a brain in it because he tricked the alien to find his way to the key part of the ship. That was definitely an interesting change. While the heroes on the ground are celebrating beating Mezzy, the ship starts to throw down the bombardment, which our girl Tornado sends right back up at him. All Crazy Name has had enough and starts to try to go Super Saiyan, but Saitama throws a pebble at him and it kills him. How unfortunate. He also finds Boros and hits him, but it didn't kill him in one punch. So that's it. We have to change the show's name now, and apparently the armor that broke was restricting his power. So he's gonna be able to take a lot more hits. And they start going crazy. Saitama rips an arm off. Boros sends Saitama to the moon. Literally. But apparently Saitama can just kick that shit straight off and back to the other world. And Old Man Bang got hit pretty bad earlier, but he's good now, which is nice. Oh yeah, and remember that arm that got ripped off? It's back now. Neat. Saitama uses a serious punch, which is apparently equivalent to that of Conqueror's Haki, because oh my god, this guy split real bad. Boros is down and the city is saved. And while that's happening, Tornado and Genos got into a yelling match, which was a problem for Genos. Apparently Metal Knight is Genos' enemy. Uh-oh, that's probably gonna be a problem. The Hero Association gets rebuilt for better ease for all the heroes to go to all the problems in the city. So yeah, One Punch Man is done. And I really liked a lot of the parts in it. I think in some parts the writing could have been better. And I definitely think there should have been a better lead up to the aliens, especially since there was a lot of decent fights. It just felt like it came and went pretty fast. I know it was over 3 episodes, but there just wasn't any like anticipation for it. And I'm definitely glad that I gave it another chance because I did like it. I will say though, it lost some points to Puri Puri Prisoner and Super Alloy Darkshine. Hopefully there's like more development on Darkshine at in the next season. Puri Puri Prisoner did get some points back because we did get to see a little bit more of him, but it still is kind of like, oh. But I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. And my favorite character was probably Sonic. He was just really quirky and a whole bunch of cast of quirks, but he stuck out more to me because of that. But although I can see Tornado being my favorite in season 2 because I like her. She's really cool. But I hope you liked the video and maybe you'll check out some of the other ones. If you do, maybe subscribe. But either way, I'll see you on the next one.